Hello and welcome to a double header here at Sheffield for the Sheffield Shadows women's ice hockey team. We start off with the ones up against the Solway Sharks ladies team north of the border. They've travelled down to South Yorkshire and they've won the opening face-off. It's Dylan Pick taking you through all the action from the Sunday afternoon to up later against the Blackburn women, one of the strongest teams in WNIHL2, but this WNIHL1 fixture right now is our main focus. The Shadows get into the zone for the first time. It's down towards Emma Taylor-Lonsdale, and she tries centering. It took a heavy deflection. Allsop, though, gets it back front, and there's a chance from the slot, but a weak backhand's easily pushed aside by the netminder for Solway. That's number 41, Stephanie Drinkwater. Now a chance for Taylor-Lonsdale. She hits the post. Didn't get enough on the shot as it stayed down low. It's backhanded around by Solonen. And the first changes coming out of both sides. Solway slow to react to the puck being played towards their own bench, and as Alicia Potts tries backhanding that towards the net of Drinkwater, she fans on it, and now again awkward on the change. So slow Solway, lacking a bit of urgency, and someone who never likes to take her time is Alicia Potts as she steps through and just misses the net by a whisker. Picked back up out in front, and as it tries to be crashed home, we've lost sight of the puck. It's still been kept on by Hazel Wilson as she's going to take up in front of the goal. Now about Wilson in the corner, played round to the opposite side. It's going to come round for the Sharks as they're going to attempt to clear it out, and they'll do so. And it's actually a tape-to-tape pass that finds its way on towards the stick of Molly Walker, whose shot just gets tied up by the experienced Kelly Walsh. Played back behind the Shadows' goal. And Walker from a tight angle nearly found a back door. Lurking was Walker from Abbott. But the best chance so far for the Sharks. Both sides started off quite urgently the first 2 minutes of this game. Now Zalossi given up cheaply back to Molly Walker. A little bit of hesitation getting on the blue line, trying to find a bit of space. Now she gets sobered. Abbott tries dumping one on the net, blocked by her own teammate. Got assistance now from MacArthur, but took her a job trying to get it down low. But Zalossi blocks for a lot of them, and as the Sharks briefly had 6 skaters out on the ice. Well, now with a bit of a messy change as well, they get away with a couple potential soft ones. To MacArthur, down in her own zone. Round to Miller, picked up by Abbott though, as that outraced the Sharks number 3. Good move there by MacArthur, no icing though. Played just behind the centre line, but external factors waving that off, and now Phoebe Gregg's going to push it out of the Shadows zone. 3-on-3 moving forward, just onside. Gregg still pushing on, and she gets to the top of the crease. The puck just falls off her stick. Coming in at the blue line though, Caitlin Stocks sends one in, and it's kept out by Drinkwater. Charging in off the bench on the blue line, Caitlin Stocks, the last home game, our first streamed game here. It's off the face-off, sent in, and that's Rayner. Start of her first shift of the game, drawing out a save again from Drinkwater. Everything's that's come the way of the Sharks netminder so far, stuck low. Out to Stocks. Her shot gets blocked out, and the Sharks clear it out nicely, and it's going to be a good 1-0 chance here for the Sharks. Good kick save made by Kinghorn. Hard into the balls. Penalty coming up. And a Sharks player down in a little bit of discomfort. It's Megan Walker. The referee is going to have a bit of a discussion. We'll see what the penalty is going to be. It's going to be a roughing call against the Shadows. So the first power play of the game going to the Solway Sharks. They got a 1-0 chance. It was kept out by Kinghorn. Her first real save of the game that she's had to make. It's actually going to be Walker going to the box. Apologies. It's going to be a Shadows power play. Well, it was... The Sharks player went hard into the boards. False start on the face-off. I'll do it again. Referee having a brief discussion with the timekeepers now. Get underway. So last time against Hull, the special teams were one of the strongest factors against top of the league for the Shadows. Their their penalty kill was a massively strong, but the power played a couple looks as well. Trying to get Yellow Bilby to have a shot, just hesitates, and they're quite spaced out here, and that's gone right past the netminder of Drinkwater. Screen didn't react at all, but it somehow found its way off the leg pad, and, well, that could have been quite troublesome. Muscled away is Emma Taylor Lonsdale, just kept in at the blue line, nicely done by Yellow Bilby. But is losing an edge, one of the Shadows players, and it's going to be easily picked up by Megan MacArthur. She clears that out towards the halfway line. Trying to stretch that towards Taylor Lonsdale. It's not going to make it for icing. She just has a put going over a stick, though. Now to Lexi Yellow Bilby, played back round the boards. Potts gets it in the far side corner. Back up to Stocks, who's already had a couple looks from range in this game. Now Yellow Bilby closes in. A little deflection, comes back out to the half boards. Russell round, can't clear it out for the Sharks, and the Shadows binding some time, getting a couple changed in. 30 seconds left on the power play. Alicia Potts trying to open up a bit of space. Now there's a gap on the far side, trying to pick a near side corner. That just misses by a fraction, comes back round, kept in by Stocks, and Russell not looking the quickest. Potts easily gets there, as down to Zalossi. The Shadows just too far spaced out, but going tight angle, the rebound chances there, trying to crash it home, but Drinkwater just gets on top of it and forces a whistle with 7 seconds left on the power play. And whilst it's been, well, you'd feel this bit of play has been dominated by the Shadows on the extra player, they didn't make the most of their opportunities. They're just too spaced out. And with how stagnated the Sharks looked on their penalty kill formation, you would have probably fancied if they'd started to close in, put the Sharks under more pressure than they was under, get a bit of panic. And with how these rebounds have come to them in the first 5 minutes of the game, tucking one in surely would have been on the cards. We're back to 5-on-5. It's been a long shift for some of these. And Potts. Zalossi, good bit of forechecking pressure. Briefly gets a puck on a stick, but she's tied up by Emma Miller. Space down the centre lane of the zone, the Sharks come. Now down to the near side. Duffy offside and then shot after the whistle, and that might be a penalty as well. And Emily Duffy is going to go. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, you'd think. Indeed it is. 2 minutes for it. The far side was a long way offside. And Duffy, a long way after the whistle, having a shot, and even took it at home. And well, maybe a sign of what could have been, but instead the Shadows are going to get their second power play in as many minutes. We'll see if there's going to be a change in tactics here from the Shadows. There wasn't anyone out in front of her now. It was a good wrist shot. It created the opportunity. Perry now gets one down towards Tilly Rayner, but just moving out of position as Perry. And it's cleared all the way down into the Shadow zone, and it's going to be collected by WNIHL1. There's a long shift for the first power play unit. They stayed on afterwards as well. And a lot of them were on just before the penalty, so it's going to be the second lot of power play out there for the Shadows. And Rayner trying to play it through the middle. It's the flex off Molly Walker's skate, and Phoebe Greggs stepping forward. She'll be looking at featuring in the Sheffield varsity for Hallam next month's time, the biggest varsity ice hockey game outside of North America. Just a second under 8 minutes gone in the first game, or in the first period of our first game of the day. So Nevaeh Allsop trying to start up this rush. It's wayward from one of the forward players, so it's back and having to be played out by Kinghorn. Now a bit more aggression from the Sharks, briefly putting them under pressure on the forecheck. Second power play unit struggling to get going for the Shadows, although Robinson gets legs in the right place, blocks the clearance, and now there's a couple of open lanes. Should have fought to play it to the back post. Instead, they went for the shots. Comes out to Caitlin Stocks, but a bit of a scramble between Stocks and Ketzi Robinson. And that allows it to be cleared out, and there's going to be a race on here, and Kinghorn's going to have to jump on it, and then Duffy has snowed them as well. And unhappy about that one is Kinghorn. The Shadows don't get a change, and none of the Shadows saw the snowing of the netminder there. Kinghorn certainly didn't. Tried having a swipe at the legs of Emily Duffy. A few seconds into her first shift, she goes and gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for shooting after the whistle, and nearly found herself with a second one after the referee spotted that. Certainly not the best impact, but the second power play of the game going, fortunately, the way of the Sharks as they were able to kill it off. After getting their first shot on target in the first few minutes, although the offensive zone time's not going to last long. It's cleared back out. Nevaeh Allsop just makes a nice move on Duffy. Hasn't got any assistance, so a shot goes wide down into the corner. She's going to get assistance from Hazel Wilson. Unable to sell it down on a stick. Here's Wilson Barrett, and the Sharks come out again. Just onside again, but Duffy the wrong side of the rebound, and can't be kept in at the blue line. It comes out, and the Shadows looking to go back the other way. Wilson not the quickest skater, but MacArthur not putting much pressure on, so icing waved off and falling asleep briefly in the Solway goal was Stephanie Drinkwater. Nearly crashed home the first goal of the game. Shadows offside as there's a good stick by Walsh, and nice little move by Alicia Potts gets the Shadows back on side, pushing forward. One more to contend with, couldn't get the toe drag. Kept in, though, by Lexi Yellow. Bill B, the slap shot blocked, and Hazel Wilson picks up at the blue line. There's free back throw at the point for the Shadows. Not much offensive numbers. Kelly Walsh, a good move to keep it in. That slap shot doesn't fully connect, but not tied it up quickly enough, and Hazel Wilson finds it in the corner. Centering through again, a little awkward deflection, and Drinkwater's nearly conceded a lone goal there, jumping on it just in time. And we're over halfway through this opening period, still scoreless between the Sheffield Shadows 1 and the Solway Sharks ladies here at Ice Sheffield in our first game of 2 this Sunday afternoon. thought about going across to the near side on the point. There's pressure coming out though, so they still had a lane to play it down towards them. It got tangled up. And as the Sharks clear it out, Abbott couldn't hold on to it, and Perry is able to clear it out. Good work to find the stick out in front. Now centred! And that's just going over the net there. Ketia Robinson getting something on it. The Shadows love a deflection goal, despite their lack of forward presence in front of the net at times. Bit of a loose one there from Robinson. Was expecting someone to be in that position. That person, with her being so far back as a forward, it meant there was only really two there. The Shadows at times finding themselves almost working with three defenders instead of three forwards. With how they find themselves on the ice, not much movement is not giving them the option for the pass. And, well, you saw there, Ketia Robinson was trying to make the pass to where she would anticipate the third forward to be, but without anyone covering, without the D dropping in. Left the loose pass, but the Sharks haven't looked anywhere likely to punish any of these Shadows' mistakes so far, and have largely dominated possession. So Nevaeh Allsop just offside they go. Tilly Rayner caught the wrong side of the blue line, couldn't shimmy her left foot over in time. The play will come back out in towards the neutral zone. It's a short bench for the Sharks as well. They're going to be rather conservative, you'd think, for 60 minutes. Penalty coming up. Allsop brought down, so we'll have a third power play coming up. Kinghorn couldn't make it to the bench for the sixth skater before the whistle was blown. And off to the box is going to be Michelle Croucher. So a chance for the Shadows straight away. A good wrist shock. The rebound fell the wrong side of Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Walsh just rushing it a little bit, the Shadows captain. The second time of asking, just get it back down low. Quickly cleared up by the Sharks, but he can't clear the blue line. But as Walsh back into the corner again, and a little mistake from Taylor-Lonsdale, but not quick enough to punish. And the stick not on the ice. That was a beautiful pass there from Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. But a core basic of hockey has just been missed. The Sharks, we said in the first power play, they're just too spaced out. The positioning for a penalty kill was just all over the place, and it was a pinpoint pass from one of the Uni of Sheffield varsity stars, Emma Taylor-Lonsdale, as that flies out of play. But stick up in the air meant the puck went right under, and there was a gap straight away. The defence wasn't even covering the goal. Could have got a good look, but instead the Sharks able to clear it up, and then it forced that loose shot. Losing vital time. They've spent just under half of the game with the man advantage for Shadows, not been able to break through yet. That shot hits the Zamboni door a long way wide from the point. Now closing in again from Alicia Potts, trying to crash it home. And good discipline from the Shadows, remove their sticks long before the whistle was even blown, but they knew it was covered by Stephanie Drinkwater. We'll get another face-off. Just under a minute to go on the power play. 13:30 played in the first period. Still scoreless here in Sheffield. Off the face-off, closing in quickly. They now get it across to Stocks. Trying to get a deflection. Wilson got something on it. You could hear it from up here in the media gallery, but not enough to change the puck's course. Back up to Stocks, who we've seen already a few times this game. She does have quite a dangerous shot for the opposition from the point. It's always what you want on the power play. You always want they're just in the game in general, a defender who can have that crack from range, put the pressure on. Again, there's no one in front of the goal, so as the Shadows have tried to play that in front, no one's there, and as it beats all of the Sharks players, it comes and just stops to a standstill in no man's land. It's these little details which have cost for the Shadows a couple goals already in this game, you'd think. Now a chance for Potts again, closing in, a good-looking wrist shot gets blocked. And now centred through, but this time either Zalossi gets tied up and it's cleared down. That will end the third power play, the aim for the Shadows, and out comes Croucher. Couldn't keep it in the feet there on the balls, one of the Sharks forward, so now it's brought down with Charlie Farr trying to go all the way. Found Alicia Potts, but Potts couldn't quite find a puck on a stick. Now Phoebe Gregg rates right out in front again. Potts trying to go in from a close angle, trying to go at it all by herself. But a good save by Drinkwater, standing tall. We'll get a whistle just before we enter the final 5 minutes of play then in the first period. Face-offs have been so good for the Shadows. I don't have a stat for them, but if we had, we'd probably looking at all but 2 or 3 have gone the way of the hosts. Now a chance for Tilly Rayner. She goes out from the top of the slot, but it's flashed away by the glove of Drinkwater. Greg getting the puck caught up in the linesman's skates. Now trying to go across again, but this time they've got bodies too low. And so often the Shadows just looking uncoordinated with each other. No one's where they expect the lines or the partners in the line to be. Just lacking that little bit of synergy. Individually doing the right things, but together it's just missing that vital bit of glue for that finishing touch. Good pass though, finds Cheetham, and now stepping forward again. Cheetham's shot gets blocked, but it falls handedly as Rayner couldn't put that one back. Getting a handy bounce going the way of the Shadows though. And now the Sharks come back the other way. It's with MacArthur. Hassled by 3 white jerseys at the blue line. Now it's going to come out to Tilly Rayner. She's staring down a one-on-one with Emma Miller. She goes from range and straight into the chest of Stephanie Drinkwater. We'll get another offensive zone face-off for the Shadows. Shot straight off the face-off. Nicely worked towards Ketsia Robinson, but it's going to be cleared out as it was, again, blocked along its path. A lot of these shots are being blocked by the Sharks. They're defending nicely. And the ones that are seen the way towards Steph Drinkwater aren't challenging at all. One of the main reasons, despite the Shadows' dominance in the period, it stayed 0-0. As with Lexi Bilby, again, one of those looks that they're not where they expect them to be. Should have back-turned and completely played that blind, and thankfully, in a sense, it made its way to one of the Sharks players, because Ketsia Robinson wasn't there. She'd come more central, but it's a good little move by Molly Walker. She gets cut off, though, and Nevaeh Allsop as well down in the corner as well. Gets the puck to break free. Moving forward, they've got an odd man rush coming forward if they're quick enough. Nearly a little bit awkward getting onside, and now Emma Taylor-Lonsdale needs to be pushing for it. She'll finally get there, but it's a little late. Trying to go for the wraparound. Smartly done by Nevaeh Allsop, but a little bit too late. You'd think, and a chance now for Taylor-Lonsdale out in front. That caught everyone off guard. Dropping late was Drinkwater, just getting something on it, and the puck comes back to the half-boards down on the far side. Out to the scrum, and it clears over the blue line. Now with Stocks to Allsop. She'll take it on her own again from range. Easily dealt with, but Wilson collects it loose, and a brilliant save by Drinkwater going post to post. Covering the gate for the first one, then tracking the rebound nicely. Enough strength in numbers moving forward. MacArthur from range, and it's a heavy spill there from Kinghorn. Doesn't amount to any trouble in the end. And now a chance. Oh, brilliant chance, and it's just not enough power in the shot. That one was from Robin Wilson Barrett. Two on out in front, just no power, and now a chance again, but she gets tied up. And as we enter the final minute of the first period, still somehow scoreless. It's Emily Duffy again on the backhand. It's a flashy one, but just off the shoulders of Kinghorn. It's poked away, should be kept in at the blue line. Snapped in down low again. Popping out to the near side boards. That was a lovely pass down low, back to Duffy. The back door's there, and somehow Kinghorn gets there. And just a little bit of messing around as well. Hazel Wilson and Samantha Murdoch. Another face-off win for the Shadows. It sets up Taylor Lonsdale. Should be the last offensive play of the game, you'd think. First time couldn't get it out to Charlie Farr. Second time it just misses a stick, and that probably should have been an icing. She didn't touch that. So the Shadows get away with one, and it'll be picked up by Rowan Yellow Bilby. Under a bit of pressure, she'll spin away from Emily Duffy, but Farr has to come back low again, off the boards. No icing again this time because of Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Got to pass it quickly, and the pass was good. Looked to be on target. Just going wide, and it's loose in front. Are they quick enough? No, they're not. And a bit of heart-in-mouth moments at the end of the period for the Sharks. There's a couple of good looks late, and you'd think maybe a 5 extra seconds would be 1-0 up to the Shadows. But in the end, 20 minutes gone. We are scoreless after the first period. We're back in a few minutes for the middle chapter of this game. back underway then here in the second period. Still scoreless for Shadows, looking for more likely of the teams to break through at this stage of the game. Dominating possession. It's a brilliant pass to the trailing Caitlin Stocks. Just goes wide. Perhaps took a deflection along the way. Ketsi Robinson plays that background, and now chasing onto this is a Michaela Lonsdale. And this top line looks so good. They didn't start the first period with Stocks out there with this top line, but it feels like a must almost. Yes, you may want to have that little bit of depth, but with how good the positioning of this top line can be, you just need that strong defenseman. Such a big shot that Stocks has, always threatening. So Nevea also. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, what a save. Back door. Potts had done all the work there. Split them up. Got it across to Wilson. And Drinkwater going post to post again. Miller takes a tumble, but it doesn't aid. Well, it didn't stop them from clearing it, but a mistake from Broadman does. And there was nearly a blunder from Drinkwater. Left a big gap between herself or her pads and the post. Picked up by Walsh, down in her own zone, trying to stretch that down to the blue line. Couldn't connect to Wilson. Muscles it off instead though, and Hazel Wilson gets it back over the blue line. An awkward pass across, but it's still found its way towards Wilson Barrett. Trying to go back post to Wilson Barrett. Just out skating the puck, and now lovely work back down low. Potts trying to go tight angle. Misses the first time, second time, straight into the glove. Drinkwater just held out before the shot was even released. Brilliant predictive work from the Sharks netminder. And we stay scoreless once more. The Sharks finally won a face-off for first in about 10 plus face-offs. Can't clear it out though. Charlie Farr getting onto it now. Well kept in at the blue line. That was just Barnicoat. Back down to Farr. Trying to get a bit flashy with the skating, but it was cut off by one of the players behind. Although it trickles out in front, and Drinkwater will get on top of it as Eva Zalossi caught it loose on the top of the slot. Stocks. Just fanning on the release. That allows the Sharks to clear it out. Quickly recovering though, and Allsop played across, and well, that looked to be offside, but play on. Allsop. Oh, brilliant work, and just rushing the shot there's Tilly Rayner. Just take that extra second on the touch. It was so slow to get across to her. Instead, it's ramped over a blade. And trying to hope someone's in the centre there. Rayner again, probably in a better position to shoot there than make the pass. Phoebe Gregg, well, completely wrong position. Such a tall player like her should just be in front. Like this now, she's going to get a good chance, but it's so slow with her hands. This time it's pushed aside by Drinkwater, but the pressure mounting on. Just kept in at the blue line, wristed in by Welsh, and that's flicked off the skate of Gregg down into the corner. This time it can't be kept in by Welsh, playing the body. Walker unhappy with it. Gone for a late hit there as well, but the arm stays down for the referee. Wayward on the breakout, but so messy from the Sharks, and now 2-on-2 pushing forward. Cheatham's shot straight into the body of MacArthur. And she'll dance around the two oncoming forecheckers, and Nice pass out. Couldn't beat its way past the Shadows, though. Looped over the top towards Murdoch. Couldn't glove that down. It's brought in by Taylor Lonsdale. Quickly cleared out, and Murdoch pushing forward again. Got Duffy with her. Trying to play it across, but Duffy tied up by Lexi Bilby. And Ketsi Robinson on her edges, going the wrong way. Couldn't jump on top of it. Taylor Lonsdale catching one to the face, but pushing forward. Just got a one-on-one to contend with. Forced wide, though. Now has Robinson out in the middle. Off the heel of a stick. Falls down into the opposite corner. Robinson, not enough power pushing that one round. Taylor Lonsdale quick to recover. One of the Sharks players has hit the deck. Looks to be in some discomfort, but she's gone down on her own accord. And a chance for the Shadows again. The Sharks going to need to get possession back and now get a whistle. We'll have a pause in play. Quickly deflecting out into the near side off the face-off, kept in by Rowan Bilby. It's slow from Hazel Wilson to get there, and she gets beat by one of the defenders for the Sharks, and they're going to try and set up a breakout. They get it off to the far side, but Fanning on it, and it's quickly collected back by the Shadows. Brought in with Potts. Drives herself out to the top of the slot, tries feeding it down towards Wilson Barrett, but just missing on the tape-to-tape pass, and it's back round. The Sharks slow to it on the boards, and as the Shadows try dumping it back in, we cleared out. It's not going to make it for icing, and I was going to plug before it gets there anyway. It had been waved off, and as we don't get an ice cut in these games, the old ice will eventually plug, and it's going to get a lot easier for the players to outskate them. The shot from Potts tried staying low to deceive Drinkwater, but Drinkwater's had quite a game so far in the opening 36.5 minutes. Duffy, who was last here in the end of December, just before Christmas, part of the England Winter Showcase, as with the four nations here in the women's tournament, England, Scotland, Luxembourg and Belgium, the mixed teams, and it's a brilliant pass out. Potts is going to get there, won't even make it for icing. A brilliant pass across, and what a save! Well, what a bit of hockey that was. The pass all the way down from the Shadows zone. Good bit of skating as well. The puck plugging anyway wasn't going to make it for icing, you don't think. And Potts, one hand, backhand across, and it makes its way to the back post. The shot is good, and somehow Drinkwater has kept it out. Unbelievable bit of hockey. Almost sums up the game. The Shadows just dominating how the puck moves. But in that final bit, Drinkwater has just consistently said no. And well, I don't want to know what the drawing board looks like for the Shadows, but at some point they've got to start running out of ideas to beat the Solway netminder. Zalossi tries playing it behind to far. The clearance attempt from the Sharks is poor, and it allows the host to get it back down low. Couldn't quite get it out in front. Back with Fars. Intercepted by Molly Walker. Slow to jump on it, though, is Broadman. Now with Ketsi Robinson. Just biding her time, going up to the point. Flicked away by the stick of Drinkwater, trying to loop it out at the top of the crease, but it can't connect its way towards Eva Zalossi. Just going to have to wait a little bit, nearly finding herself offside with the stick handles. Gets it in and now go for a change. In the second period, it's that long change that we do get. It's not going to make it for icing. Hitting the underside of Phoebe Gregg's stick as she tried to collect the puck. Was Phoebe Gregg again on a forehand, just out skating it, falling off a stick. And Cheetham back to Gregg, chance for redemption, but Drinkwater closing the gates again. As we approach the halfway stage, the Shadows are going to be in disbelief how they've not had a breakthrough. Cheetham. Heavy touch and the slow skating there of the Sharks should be punished. Trying to pick a corner, it's a creative shot and just getting something on, it's Drinkwater. And now the other way, Emily Duffy, probably the most dangerous player for the Sharks. She's got a chance, want to know, going between the legs, just running out of ice. And Longhorn will just cover it up in the end. We'll get a pause and play in the first chance in a long time for the Sharks. Just going away. Murdoch trying to centre it in front. Couldn't quite connect after 2 attempts, and now Allsop's going to push forward again. Good little move down the near side boards. Gets it out and onside. Now Taylor Lonsdale. Good bit of space opening up the pass. Just wayward and away from Ketsi Robinson. Back up to Allsop. She tries wristing that down. Collected by Taylor Lonsdale on the swivel. Just over the bar. Perhaps Drinkwater again getting something on it. Bit of pressure onto Taylor Lonsdale. And again, the playing that almost 3 defenders on the blue line. Taylor Lonsdale a bit too slow to drop in there. You'd think, and a chance through the paint. And Drinkwater again denies the Shadows the breakthrough. And surely at this point it's not a matter of if, but when. Potts trying to play it through in front of the goal. It gets blocked and cleared out eventually by the Sharks. Now flick off the board, Alicia Potts. Couldn't jump round Walker. Making it for icing. Little bit of contact on the puck and nearly a good move there by Hazel Wilson. Couldn't quite get round the player after getting between the legs, and now Molly Walker is looking off to the races. Offside they go. They're back into the neutral zone. The Sharks will have to go. The Shadows look to be offside there, but they get away with it. Far backhanding it through, and surely if there's a goal here, and indeed there is Velocity on the backhand. But looking back on it, I think the Sharks might feel a little aggrieved, as it looked like entering the zone there was just a little pace ahead of the puck. But in the end, they get the breakthrough on the play, and finally they've been able to connect one to the top of the crease. And Velocity puts it past Drinkwater, and after 31 minutes of immense pressure, the Shadows have themselves on the board. Charlie Fast setting up Zalossi. It's for goal scorer. He's got Taylor Lonsdale with her. Drops it with the backhand towards Charlie Farr, and she just fans on it. Well cut off by WNIHL1 Bilby, but it gets messy. Eventually they'll clear it out. We'll get a whistle. Too many skaters on the ice. It's going to go against the Shadows. There's someone happy. Coaches on the Shadows bench as well. So in the first penalty kill for the Shadows to contend with, it was Stella against the top of the league, Hull, or Kingston Diamonds rather. Broadman to Duffy. Well poked away, and it's back with Zalossi. This is going to kill off some vital seconds, and perhaps a short-handed goal to come their way, but it's kept out by Drinkwater. And Duffy pushing forward again. This time it won't be pushed away from her. Stocks. Well, from range, and it just cuts between all the bodies. Seen late by Kinghorn. And Potts was instructed to hold it down in the corner, but falling asleep and easily poached off her. Just onside they go, and fanning on that again. And quickly cleared out. It's with Emma Taylor Lonsdale. 35 seconds left on the power play, but the Shadows coming short-handed again. Against Kingston, a couple of short-handed chances. That one is off the blocker this time. Not been tested much that side. Has Steph Drinkwater. Taylor Lonsdale again. Top of the slot. Oh, brilliant! Off the bar and in. Pinning the corner. A little bit of patience, and the Shadows get one short-handed to double their lead. And what a goal by Emma Taylor Lonsdale, just creeping up. Down towards Wilson in the corner. It's quickly oncoming. Swipes that away. Awkward off the referee's skates, though, making it a little bit difficult for the Sharks. They will get it out in the end anyway. Here comes Molly Walker, hassled by Alicia Potts. And heavy collision. Potts coming out on top there, and now pushing forward. Shadows looking for free. Alicia Potts toe dragging, flicking off the blocker. Good reactions from Drinkwater. Murdoch cheaply given away to the Shadows. They play it back down into the corner. We've got 5 minutes left here in the middle period. Shadows lead 2-0. Trying to crash it home, and the puck's come to a standstill. Now it breaks free to Potts. Pinned in the corner almost, a wall of dark blue. Can't be kept in by Kelly Walsh. Potts waits across the opposite side of the rink, comes out across to her. And now Zlossi there in the middle, but Potts is going to go for it. Blocker from post. That had some bite to it, and Potts down on the ice, almost in disbelief. And now Nevaeh Allsop loops one in. Oh, and somehow it's gone in! Well, Drinkwater's looked so good all game, and a little bit of a blunder, and the Shadows now have their third. Charlie Farr bringing it down low, trying to go all the way by her own on the face-off. A little bit messy, tidying up. It's still back with Charlie Farr, centering through and just kissing off Drinkwater. Kept in by Stocks. Now back with the Sharks. They're going to stretch that all the way down. Is it going to make it for icing? Well, I think it's not going to. Flicked on by Charlie Farr. Caught up in the linesman's skates. With Farr battling with Miller below the goal line. It goes the way of the Shadows forward. Got a little bit of a gap. She can backhand it through, but she's trying to go all the way. She wants a goal herself in. Now she'll backhand it, but it's traffic in front of her this time. That cuts the puck off, and now the Sharks will look to try and get it free. Players coming off the bench, stops them down. Trailing off the bench. The Shadows falling asleep briefly. We've got 2.5 minutes left. Broadman can't get it through the bodies, and now connecting to Phoebe Gregg. They've got Nevaeh Allsop with her. Tilly Rayner, sorry, she has her shot deflecting into the glove. And normal service has resumed for Drinkwater. Captain Walsh can't keep it in at the blue line, but it's picked up by the lively Yellow Bilby. Awkward deflection off the stick of one of the wingers for the Shadows, and that allows the Sharks to put that little bit of pressure on. back round with Robinson. She clears that out. And it's blocked along its path across to Abbott. Not going to make it for icing. Again, a little deflection into the final 90 seconds. Lifted all the way over the top. Robinson tries sitting right down. Shouldn't be able to do much anyway. A long way offside with Alicia Potts. Now Potts splitting the four checkers. Free to contend with round 1, 2, and getting the shot off. But Drinkwater again dealing with it nicely, and we've got exactly a minute left to play. More looks out in front, not going the way of the Shadows. A couple of bounces, that time favouring the Sharks. Kept in at the blue line though, looped towards them. It's lovely work to Potts and a brilliant goal. The Sharks, so poor on the defence that time round. They've struggled play after play to clear the blue line. And a wonderful pass to Potts. Some quick hands and she puts it home. The Shadows have their fourth right at the death of the period. They're able to get it down the ball to Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Just tied up by Miller briefly, trying to pass it out in front to Charlie Farr, but intercepted by MacArthur. Kept in though by Nevaeh Allsop, but that's going to be the end of the period. 40 down and a 4-goal period. Well, actually it was a 4-goal final, 8.5 minutes. It took us over 31 minutes to get the breakthrough, but since then the Shadows have got the score they've probably deserved. Now we're 20 minutes away from the conclusion of our first game of the day here. 20 minutes left in the game. A mountain to climb for the Sharks. The Shadows have well and truly had them against the wall. It's going to be a long trip up back the border, or back up over the border rather. Especially if Emma Taylor-Alonso can make a play here. Out in front, Drinkwater pushes that away. Nicely done to at least clear the blue line, but Caitlin Stocks picks it back up and not under too much pressure, gets it down to Nevaeh Allsop. No assistance though moving forward. And Salonen will play that back down low. When Potts beelining forward, just falling off a stick. Now Wilson gets a crack, moving late, and somehow a couple of contacts on the rebound as well for Drinkwater. Now centering through, Drinkwater dropping the pad, lost sight of it, back doors there, has it stayed out? Yes it has, somehow. Drinkwater losing sight of it, and now it's going to clear away, and it's going to be strength in numbers moving forward for the Sharks. 2 on 2 between the legs, nicely done, defending rapidly, just running out of ice for Kinghorn. And Potts will settle this back down. Won't be settled for long though, we know how she likes to move on the puck. Cruising forward, toe drag, release off the post! We saw the patience pay a virtue for Emma Taylor-Lonsdale with the short-handed goal, the second of the game. Trying that tactic again, perhaps. The extra pace is favouring Drinkwater. And a nice move off the back of the net, nearly opening up a gap. Couldn't feed the puck through in time. The Shadows are well and truly having a field day with it. Back with Potts again. Doesn't have a player moving with her. Just a wall of blue on the far side, cutting that one off. Allows the Sharks to come back the other way. Walker going between the legs there of Lexi Bilby, but glove out. Kinghorn finding it. Already 2.5 minutes down here in the third period. Apologies for the scoreboard mishaps. It's currently 4-0 to the Shadows. We'll keep you updated as things go along if you're coming and going. We thank you for your support with the coverage of today. Remember, we've got another game coming up around about 4 o'clock. As the Shadows' second team take on the Blackburn Women's. That's come to about 10 to 5. Walker, that's off the blocker of Kinghorn. Walker to Salonen. That shot took a deflection and somehow was able to hook a bit and curve. Well, if that had gone on target, that would have certainly been a bit of an issue. Also, that's hard into the boards there. A little bit of a shove, it looked, from the Solway captain. Holding on to a stick there as well. Couldn't see who was holding on to whose stick, but someone certainly got away with a penalty in the corner. But now Emily Duffy pushing forward. Straight into the glove again. Shot looked to be going wide, but Kinghorn not taking any risks. Holds on to that nicely. The Shadow just looked to be in cruise control now. Shot from range, it's loose, and Kinghorn has not seen it, and it's been blown dead by the referee. Kinghorn had got none of the puck there. It had just been left right on a plate on the goal line. And Solway, rightly so, were a bit aggrieved by that. The Shadows have been under a bit of pressure, clear it out now. Phoebe Gregg laying it off, across to the far side, flicking off the leg pad of Drinkwater. Of Allsop. Caught up by Walker. Kept in by Stocks. Cruiser down towards the Zamboni door, intercepted by Abbott, and now moving forward again. Stocks gets beaten, a lazy stick out there, and a chance sails over the bar. Walker back round to Stocks. Couple of changes on the blue line then for the Sharks. As again, Phoebe Gregg just so slow onto the puck, but allows Salonen to quickly take advantage, but Allsop and cuts off Walker and Salonen. The Shadows are able to at least clear it out. This should go Freising when it's waved off. Ooh. Oh, out in front is lovely work, but leg down denying Barnicoat. Taylor Lonsdale going to put a bit of pressure, forces a loose pass round the boards. Getting there though, it's one of the wingers for the Sharks. Now Robinson, tight angle, then off the iron as they rebounded in. Should have gone up to the point, they've tried to play to the wing instead, but over-committing via Krucher. That gives Taylor Lonsdale a chance to feed it through, deflecting off the escape there of Salonen, but just going wide of the post. As going the opposite way was Drinkwater. A little bit of urgency needed for the Shadows to keep that in, but in the end is invited a chance for Molly Walker to come back the other way. Can't get it between the legs of one of the defenders, and now Emma Taylor-Lonsdale is going to turn up, put her head up to the sky and see some space. Dropped off to Ketsi Robinson, and they've just made a meal of it. Trying to do too much there, the Shadows has cost them a chance at a fifth goal there, as the Sharks going to go offside as well, and they need to move quickly. They haven't responded as well as they should have, and getting cut off there. Couple of cheers about that, but there was nothing really in it, just cutting the road off, no intention at all. A little bit bemusing for the Sharks fans to be cheering about that at 4-0 down. But alas, we push on. Potts. To Wilson. Stick lift there by Potts, trying to force Murdoch down, out wide. Oh, brilliant poke check from Rowan. Sent in, oh, batted down, out, and nearly getting very messy. And Drinkwater again just responds in time. But a couple heart-in-mouth moments. Taylor Lonsdale off the face-off, shooting low quickly, but closing the gate late. Drinkwater. It's so good as the trying to push the 5-hole. Only so many times you can try and it not go before you've got to change your plan. Oh, one-timer off the face-off. They found its way to Charlie Farr quickly. And they've had a handful of those chances. We said earlier in the stream how good the Shadows have been off the face-offs today. Moving that puck so quickly. This time they got it top of the slot. And you see Charlie Farr winding up again. She's ready for it. They get it to her. This time it's behind her. Plays it back to the board side with Taylor Lonsdale centering through, deflecting and just going behind where Charlie Farr was setting up. And now the Shadows have to come back defensively. Brilliant work from the rapid Taylor Lonsdale. And they're going to try and come back with a bit of speed. Here's the girl that got us started. It's Eva Zalossi. Lovely pass out front and tied up there was Charlie Farr, but she's looking hungry right now. Kept in by Uso. Played low and loose. Forcing Drinkwater to stick that away from the crease. On Zalossi. Good stick there from Duffy. And she's going to be quick getting it out. She's got Abbott on her inside, and she probably should have looked to get there as it's poked off her. Far. Couldn't turn back the other way. Looked to be offside for Sharks this time. Can they get one in response? No, they can't. Brilliant blocker save by Jess Kinghorn. Pushed back down into this near side corner. The Shadows, like I said, in a bit cruise control as we approach the final 10 minutes of the game in a rather commanding position. And not many threats have come in this game from the Sharks. Cheatham just flicks that on back in towards the Shark zone. Round the boards, Walker helps it on its way and it will clear back in towards neutral ice. Onside with Rayner. Sandwich between Abbott and Miller. Well, Phoebe Gregg comes out for assistance, but it's still with the Sharks. Goes all the way down, taking a deflection. It's not going to be an icing call. Phoebe Gregg again probably should have looked for Ketsia Robinson on her right. And let's open up a chance here, moving rather quickly. And just over the blocker. Rose Abbott hurrying on. Looking so threatening there. But now Lexi Bilby, she's going to get a chance. Good bit of skating all the way through. Brilliant shot, brilliant goal. Popping the bottle up. And the Shadows have 5. From the blue line, she cruised through the centre. Waited, patient, just stood still, wasn't moving, was going to let her defender go coast to coast. And really the first time the Shadows have taken advantage of the space on the rush, maximised their pace advantage. And it's a good reward there for the Shadows, number 44, Lexi Bilby. So they put 5 past Steph Drinkwater. With Walsh. Playing round to Ketsia Robinson. It's Taylor Lonsdale who's chasing, but Puck just out racing her there. And now Ketsia Robinson looking to move forward. Straight into the chest again though of Drinkwater. Couldn't quite recreate what Lexi Bilby did just moments ago. 8 minutes and change left then in the first game of the day. The WNIHL 2 side up in action in a couple hours time. Allsop trying to play it out wide. It just intercepted before it could meet Potts. She's still going to rush on here. Stands up to MacArthur. Still gets a pass across though. And Charlie Farr brought down by her own teammate, crossing over lines. Still though with the shadows. It's with Allsop. Lovely move there by Charlie Farr, using the ball to her advantage. She's got options along her line, but moving out quickly. Wanting the goal there. Wasn't going to take no for an answer. Good move there by Potts, looking for a second. Tied up at the last. Point of call there by Salonen. Flicked away by Walsh, but only finds its way towards the Sharks captain. And now there's going to be a chance for Duffy. Quickest player for the Sharks, but diving onto it. And now losing track of it and just missing wide of the net. Jess Kinghorn got herself all kinds of mixed up there in which way to go. And now the puck's hit the deck and all sorts is kicking off, throwing a player about the ice. A little bit odd. Welsh, I think it was the captains on top of each other. Just be held on to in the end anyway. So then, 6 minutes and change to go. The Shadows just going to want to see this one out in what has been, well, a simply dominant performance against the side north of the border. Playing out of Dumfries. A real hub for hockey out in Scotland. One timer out from the blue line. That was Rowan, your lot Bill B. Not caught up along its path. She intercepts it back though as the Sharks try clearing out. She now finds herself back down low. Trying to get it up to the point a couple of times. Couldn't find a way to Perry. It's going to open up a chance to Fern Lundy, but it's going to trickle all the way on. And trying to play it out. Premature whistle. We're going to face off down in the shadow zone. Allsop. Across to Robinson. Robinson trying to go from the hash marks. I think everyone of the Shadows wants a goal. They fancy themselves here. Trying to crash it in. It looks in. Surely it's in. And it's waved off. But the netminder is literally in the net. How can the puck not be in there with her? Long before the whistle had blown, the keeper had dragged themselves behind the goal. If the whistle's not gone, you've got to be giving that. That is an absolute mess out there, and it should be 6. MacArthur. Face-off win there as we enter the final 5 minutes for the Sharks, but they've played it poorly and they've really cheated back to the Shadows. Now the danger from the blue line. Stocks, she goes wide of the net. Be picked back up by Robinson. Jumping on top of that, Drinkwater. I think everyone briefly lost sight of it, but the bench guided the Sharks. Netminder on top of the puck and another face-off coming the way of the Scottish side's third of the ice. Millsop giving it to Potts. Right at the top of the blue line, or centre of the blue line rather, down to Wilson. Potts receives it back again. Poked off of O, nicely done by Emma Miller. Brilliantly kept in by Lexi Bilby. It's played down and Stocks will have to settle it down. Oh, well, that's going to be... We're going to get a whistle there as Vanette flies off. Hazel Wilson barreling down, taking Vanette off its pegs. Just under, or just over 3.5 minutes to go. Another chance in the O-zone for the Shadows. A face-off win then for the Shadows. Closing in. That's blocked off. Oh, it's in! Off the shoulder. Drinkwater can't believe it. Shot from range. The Shadows have 6th. Or have their 6th, rather. And the huddle definitely letting them know who got the goal. So in 6th for the Shadows is 7th Heaven on the boards. The first of our 2 games of the day. Trying to feed Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Charlie Farr somehow not had one as she gets one right between the legs. Looked to be incidental though, with the apology from the player rather. Space opening up though for Eva Zalossi. Tied up briefly. Roni Bilby goes from range. Farr can't tip it between the legs. And Zalossi cruises round to the puck on the board side. Taylor-Lonsdale back with Zalossi, trying to wait for a gap. Short angle! And there's no one in the centre to clear it up, but it comes back out to the blue line. Back with Taylor-Lonsdale. Trailing in is Perry. Played just behind her. But there's not a Sharks player there. Going for a big one-timer, Charlie Farr. You can see she's getting desperate. And she laughs it off, but she is so desperate for a goal. She's come close on a few occasions here. She might get a chance now, again with a good bit of positioning, as here's Taylor-Lonsdale going for her 2nd of the game. Runs into the wall. Now back with Charlie Farr. Zalossi. Farr in a bit of space. Zalossi with a goal to name as well today. Trying to go at it, drops it back off to Taylor-Lonsdale. This is a good bit of play from the Shadows, right on cue. It's played down towards the blue line. They make a whiff of it, and it comes back behind the goal. MacArthur for the Sharks, 90 seconds left in the game. Breezing over off the blocker of Jess Kinghorn. It'll be now of Tilly Rayner, tries to help it on its way, but she was the last player left. Probably should have gone out of herself there. Icing waved off at the last second. 50 seconds left, and it's just going to be an encore, you'd think, for the Shadows. Trying to keep it in is Bilby. There's going to be one last chance perhaps for the Sharks. Duffy trying to go late and nearly beating Kinghorn. Briefly got it between the legs, couldn't fully push it on. Kept in by Kelly Walsh. This time we'll clear out behind Duffy. We're just going to want to see this out, surely. Yeah, look, Bilby's gone hard into the balls. Penalty coming up late in the game. There's 10 seconds left. But Walker's going to be going for an illegal hit. Well, the Sharks win the face-off. They'll take something home at least. But the clock's going to tick down. Claxon's going to go. It isn't getting more comfortable and dominant than that. 60 minutes. It's a shutout for Jess Kinghorn. And it's a 6-0 victory for the Shadows at home. They are victorious against their northern rivals. We're only halfway done through the day. We're going to take a little break here on the Sheffield Shadows YouTube channel. We'll be back at about 4:30 for our second game of the day. As the second team in WNIHL2, they take on one of the real threats in that division, the Blackburn Hawks women's side. We'll see you in a little bit. If you're not going to stay around, firstly, why? But if you've got somewhere to run, it's understandable. So we'll see you later. Many thanks from myself, Dylan Pick, and everyone here at the Sheffield Shadows. We'll see you for the next WNIHL1 game, if you're not sticking around for the 2s game later today. Until then, we'll see you in a bit.